Wow. Just wow. Not only was I blown away by the quality of this game, as well as all of the new features from the Definitive Edition, but the demo is definitive in itself. I've never played a demo before which packed in so much content that literally kept me playing for 10 whole hours. As someone who has yet to pick up this game, the demo has me hyped, and I had to share my thoughts. Hey, welcome to Little Big Animation. We are all about creating inspiring video games and animations to unleash your imagination, so you can realise your own creative dreams and share those with the world. I recently spoke about my experience with the Ys 9 demo, which had its ups and downs, but was overall a good taster of what's to come from the game. That demo, however, only allowed you to play for a total of 10 minutes in each of the 2 dungeons. A short but mostly sweet experience. Coming off the back of completing the entirety of the Dragon Quest XI demo though, it shows just how generous Square Enix were. Would I be more enticed to purchase the new Ys had the demo been longer? I honestly couldn't say, but what I can say is that since Dragon Quest gave me more of a taster, they really got me hooked to the point where I need this game as opposed to I'm interested. Imagine playing for 10 hours. By that point, you're already so invested in the game that you just have to have more. I understand that not every game can afford to make too much of their game available, but with RPG games it makes perfect sense, considering they are extremely lengthy by default. Looking at the Ys demo, it included absolutely no story or character elements, simply to showcase the gameplay during the dungeon crawling sections. This gives us a good idea of how fun the game is to play, but what Dragon Age has done with their demo has got us hooked on the main plot, including each of the characters we have started to bond with. You can get a rough idea of the gameplay from both games pretty quickly, but a story takes time to tell, and with this demo it honestly got me excited to buy the full game and jump right back into it as soon as I can. So what can you expect from the demo and the game in general? Well, it's actually a lot more of a traditional JRPG than I was expecting, although it does have a lot of modern enhancements, particularly in this Definitive Edition. For a start, the game is entirely turn-based, no modern action variant that you would find in FF15, Kingdom Hearts 3 or Ni no Kuni 2 for example. That's probably going to put some people off, but here is how they try to solve some of those issues. Normally turn-based games are relatively slow to play out. You have to enter commands for each of your party members, wait for them to play out, and then it's your enemy's turn to do the same before you take control again. In Dragon Quest XI, you can set the AI to control the other characters in your party, so you can solely focus on the main character's commands. And new to the Definitive Edition, you can actually speed up the battles, so they end within seconds. I know this feature can be a double-edged sword. On one side it helps to speed up the nitty-gritty sides of things, but on the other it kind of distorts the experience, making it feel even less like you are playing the game. I personally thought I'd never use it for this reason, but I have to be honest, I've grown to really enjoy it. As I've stated, RPG games are tremendously long, and some of that can be a slog, whether you're purposely grinding or just being forced to fight random battle after random battle whilst exploring. I could honestly spend a ton of hours not actually making any story or quest progression. It's okay for those who have the time to dedicate to hundreds of hours, but for others it's a nice way to weed out the monotonous processes and get the game moving. Grinding can be fulfilling, but when it takes up so many hours, that's just more hours of your life you ain't getting back. What I ended up doing was sticking to the sped up battles, so I could casually grind as I explored a new area, and when I came up against a boss, I would slow it back down to make it more cinematic, since the bosses are a unique one-off battle. There are also 2 different battle camera options, a traditional fixed view and a freeform one which also lets you wander around, which in hindsight is completely pointless as it has no real purpose other than to keep you doing something rather than standing still. I thought I would use the fixed camera, but it's very close to the action and can become quite disorientating as it switches between characters and attack animations. It's made even worse with the battle speed set to max as the camera races around. So for the purpose of the general battles, I kept freeform to avoid dizziness and turn on the more cinematic fixed camera for the bosses. I'm not 100% sure if this is the case, but I'm starting to think that all of these ease of use options have absorbed me even further into the game. The only previous Dragon Quest game I played was the infamous 8, and I can't believe it, but I never finished it, not even close. But with Dragon Quest 11, I couldn't put it down. If I had the full version, I'm sure I would have finished it completely by now. I always loved the charm of the world in Dragon Quest, and as a big fan of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, it felt like I was playing an RPG in that universe from the past. I've had opportunities to pick up and play various Dragon Quest games on the Nintendo DS, but regrettably never took them. That's something I'll look to rectify, but unlike my dilemma of where to start with the Ys franchise, I'll be jumping straight into 11 before I take a look at the titles I've missed. Some final details worth mentioning about the Definitive Edition specifically: it includes a brand new orchestrated soundtrack, which eclipses the original game's monstrosity. Crafting can be done outside of camps no matter where you are, which again speeds things up. And even though you can't access it in the demo, the full version of the game includes a 2D sprite mode, which allows you to play a completely redesigned retro look of the entire game. There's a long list of improvements, so for anyone who has already played or completed the original, it's worth checking them out to see if it warrants a brand new playthrough. Are you a fan of the Dragon Quest series? Have you tried this Definitive Edition? Let's discuss down in the comments below. And subscribe if you're new here. We are all about creating inspiring video games and animations to unleash your imagination, so you can realise your own creative dreams and share those with the world. If you'd like to support us on our quest to provide you with the very best inspiring content, consider becoming a channel member by clicking the join button below, which comes with additional exclusive perks such as early access to our demos, behind the scenes content, your name in the credits, along with custom channel badges and emojis. You can also explore our Patreon page or our Teespring store if you'd like to get your hands on some cool new merch. All links can be found in the description below. Thank you. Would you like to see even more inspiring content? Click on one of our videos on your screen now. You can also subscribe by clicking on our little red imp. See you in the next JRPG video.